Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Sequoyah taking on the Verdigris Cardinals and another volleyball match here at the historic Olin Graham Fieldhouse. My name is Britton Ross. Alongside me, my partner, as always, Dakota Jackson. Dakota, we should be in for a good one tonight.
Yeah, crosstown rivalry, Verdigris Cardinals coming in here, and we'll see how well these Eagles match up with them.
And Verdigris does sit at a 7-12 record, but they are ranked in the OSSAA rankings.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with degree of difficulty of games, and Verdigris, I think, might have played a lot of tougher competition, so it'll be a good one to see how well Sequoyah is able to do.
And the starters for the Eagles are going to be Lydia Parkey, Alice Michaels, Grady's Morales, Emin Gibson, Lexi Dunphy, and Haley Budgick. And for the Cardinals, we have Paisley Sparks, Cadence O'Brien, Jillian Pagan, Addie McMahon, Andy Boyd, and one more that I cannot see, but I believe is Julia Timms.
And unlike last week, we can finally say mascot names.
Yes. The last volleyball game we did was against Summit Christian, who are also the Eagles. So that should make – they're both birds, but at least they're different birds this time.
And it looks like Verdigris made a change to put their libero in. That's
Mia Guerrero.
Yep.
Came in for Julia Timms. And the Eagles did the same thing with freshman Hayden Charles coming in the game, and the Eagles get the early point. We do want to apologize for the slight delay in game time. This game is scheduled to start at about 7 o'clock p.m., but the JV game went a little long. Of course, these games start 7th, 8th, junior varsity, and then varsity, so just a little bit of a delay. Trying to fit all these games in tonight. That one was partially blocked by Dunphy, but no other Eagles there to recover.
Yeah, that was just a case of a good job blocking it, but miscommunication, nobody there to recover it.
Michaels tries to save it, but can't. Another point to the Cardinals.
Yeah, that was a bad hit on the first one, and they couldn't recover on that.
Cadence O'Brien hits it into the net, which ties it up. And junior Haley Budgick will serve now for the Eagles. Gets it across. Budgick saves it. Michaels for Gibson. Received by McMahon. Set up from Andy Boyd. Here's Charles to Gibson. Dug out by Guerrero. Michaels for Bella Brown now, who hits it into the net. Point Cardinals.
And that was something we saw on last Thursday against Summit Christian. A lot of those kills went for kill errors, as the Lady Eagles unfortunately spiked it into the net a lot.
Dunphy gets it across, and that one is down. Good job finding the open space there.
Yeah, kept them Verdigris on the back foot, unable to save it.
Hayden Charles to serve. Boyd to Guerrero, getting it across. Here's Michael setting for Gibson. That one's blocked by Timms. Boyd, no, not Boyd. Yes, Boyd tried to dump that one off. Michael's setting for Gibson again. An easy touch, gets it across. O'Brien and Guerrero and McMahon not quite on the same page with who was trying to get that one over.
Yeah, just a case of two players, both trying to get the ball over, and so there was a little bit of hesitancy, didn't get enough power on the ball to get it over.
That one's blocked by Parkey and Gibson. Michaels to Gibson. Boyd setting for McMahon. Another block. And point Eagles, 4 touches from the Cardinals.
And Gibson's spikes are just so strong, so well placed. If she's able to get a clean one off, it usually does leave the other team in a bad spot.
Cadence O'Brien commits an error trying to receive it from Hayden Charles, and it makes it 6-3 Eagles. Boyd for Timms, blocked again. Parkey and Gibson were both right there. McMahon saved by Gibson. Here's Gibson again, tipped, and another point for Sequoyah. And a timeout taken by Verdigris. Early impressions so far, Dakota.
Sequoiah's done a pretty good job. Emma Gibson, by far their best player, doing it again. She's leading the Lady Eagles in kills, 148. That's almost 3 times as many as the next best Eagle. And she's already got 4 or 5 tonight.
Yeah, I believe the next is Avery Conger with 50. Some of our stats are actually cut off here. It didn't print correctly. But that still is your stat there still is correct.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Emmon just has another gear when it comes to getting those kills.
Charles, a long ball put into play by O'Brien. That one's blocked by Gibson, but Hayden Charles can't get there.
Good effort trying to dig that out, but after that block, just nobody able to get there. So Verdigris down 7-4. We saw Sequoyah open up pretty strong the first set against Summit on Thursday.
There's just another miscommunication.
Yeah, that was a clear, just nobody knew who was going to get it. Didn't seem like anybody wanted it.
They all backed up away from it. Everyone backed up behind the 10-foot line. Grady's Morales serving. McMahon skyball that here's Timms trying to spike it, but does so into the net.
Yeah, so far, it is a bigger lead than the Eagles were able to get against Summit most of the night during any of the 3 sets.
Newhart gets it back across for Verdigris.
We'll see if Sequoyah can close a little bit better.
And so far, Verdigris having some miscommunication problems. Here's Gibson, quick tip over, back. I believe that was Boyd getting it back across. Here's Boyd setting for McMahon, a long spike. Parkey dumps it across. Boyd setting for Timms. There's Michaels and a spike from Emin Gibson.
Beautifully placed spike.
Look at the power on this.
Yeah, there is no shot. Superhuman reflexes if you wanted to be able to get to that one.
Cadence O'Brien had no shot. Morales can't even hit the net on this one. It's under the net.
So Sequoyah has gone on a couple nice little runs, which we didn't see against Summit at all.
It is worth noting that in our last broadcast against Summit Christian, there was about a 30-minute delay in the middle of set 1 that They couldn't figure out. I believe there was what another kill from Emin Gibson. Wow. But just all the momentum really exited the building after that 30-minute delay during our last broadcast.
Yeah, Sequoyah got the very first point after the delay and then only managed 2 more points as Summit went on a huge run.
And another ace. Her team leading 26th ace. Emin Gibson doing it all.
Yeah, I don't want to say single-handedly because it is a team sport, and it's in again.
Number 27. That one was a lot closer, and the original call said out. Hard to see there with Guerrero standing kind of right in the way. 12-6. That one's too long.
Well, once you get 2 aces in a row, I think you do get a little bit pumped up.
So Guerrero to serve now. And that one's long.
Now Verdigris just unable to get anything together.
So far, it seems like Sequoiah's been playing a little bit more composed, I would say, than the last time we were out here.
Yeah, I would say so, although the scoreboard still has it 12-8, but it is 13-7 on our count.
I think they might have missed one. I believe the officials maybe are catching it now.
Well, now they're saying it's 12-9. Interesting.
I believe we're right from our count.
Yeah. Blake's a pretty good scorekeeper, but either way, there's a point, Sequoyah.
That was Lexi Dunphy able to hit it into just the little bit of open court that was there. Bella Brown checks in for Grady's Morales, and Alice Michaels will serve. That one looked like it might have been long. That's Pagan getting it back across for Verdigris. Bella Brown is able to get Cadence O'Brien to touch it. I thought that one was going to go out of bounds.
Yeah, the Eagles are doing a tremendous job. I mean, this is, although it's still, there it is. Okay. Oh.
Now it says 16.
16-9. What is going on with the scoring here?
There's Pagan. Now it's Gibson setting for Budgick, but she hits it off the side of her hand.
I think it's 15-9. It should be the correct score. We're showing.
Well, now the scoreboard in-house says 16-6.
Okay, there's.
The referees look like they're.
We've got an issue going on. Not again.
As long as it's not a 30-minute delay again, it should be okay.
Yeah, it should be 15-9. So I don't know if they want our help or not. The delay was ended Thursday by video replay, which is not something you see in high school ever. I guess they're settling at 16-7 as the official score now.
That shouldn't be right, but they could always, during the set break, go and take a look. Bella Brown with the kill. You hear chants of she's a freshman.
This is a very young team.
Approaching 40 kills on the season. Ooh,
wow.
Just out.
And I thought maybe
it
was
was
touched. Huh. On our screen, it did look in. I thought maybe even touched.
That's Pagan serving. Emin Gibson. O'Brien gets it across. I don't think she meant to. Here's Charles passing to Gibson. That one's tipped by Paisley Sparks. And now they're giving point to Verdigris, saying that it was out of bounds and she didn't tip it.
She clearly did. She blocked it.
Maybe they said that it was it hit the antenna. And that's why it looked like it from our angle.
Coach Kersey pleading her case.
And let's see.
And they will award the point to Sequoyah.
I don't know how we got there, but our scoreboard and the in-house scoreboard are now synced back up. 18-8. Charles serving. Boyd sets for Timms. Blocked by Parkey and Gibson. That might have been all Parkey on that one. Let's see.
Yeah, on the spike. And I think it was all Parkey.
She does lead the team in blocks.
The lone senior.
Here's McMahon. She's able to get the kill.
That was a very nicely located kill.
Newhart comes in for Sparks for the Cardinals.
Problem for Verdigris, though, they haven't been able to string anything together.
Emin Gibson, slight misplay. Here's Parkey getting it back across. Boyd setting for McMahon. Tipped, but can't get it back over. Budgick saves it. Michaels gets it back across.
That was close.
Timms was blocked by Gibson with Boyd trying to get it back across. Dug out from Hayden Charles. That was Gibson getting it over the net. And Charles smacks that one but can't keep it in play.
That was a great defensive sequence by Sequoyah. Unable to get the point, but great effort. Had 2 digs on 1 play.
Emin Gibson. There's Charles with the underhand pass back to the Verdigris side. Boyd goes flying. There's Charles for Gibson. Another hard spike.
No chance. You see how she spikes it? That ball has a little bit of like a top spin on it, and so they can't get the angle in order to get it off the top of their forearm. It's just coming right up the side of it, and so that's why you see so many of these spikes not even able to get up in the air by Verdigris.
Boyd setting for Timms. Morales misplays it. 20-12. Sequoyah leads here in this first set. There's McMahon serving. There's Parkey trying to spike it. Boyd sets for Timms with an easy dump off. Michaels just gets it over with the safe play. Timms again. That might have been a double touch there from Parkey. No call. O'Brien gets it over for Verdigris. Here's Emin Gibson with another spike that the Cardinals can't handle.
She is having one heck of a game.
Look how far back she winds up to get all that power on that ball.
I know. It's crazy. I mean, and what? She's only a sophomore, right?
Yes.
Still room to grow. That's crazy. She's going to be good for a long time.
And that one's in from Haley Budgick.
Wow. Budgick able to keep it right on the back line. That's There's nothing Verdigris can do about that.
Eagles have dominated this first set. Gibson setting again, but hits the net, point Verdigris.
Possibly overcorrecting from her last serve when it went out.
Julia Tim serving. Tips over the net. Michaels and Morales kind of collide. Here's O'Brien. Budgick setting it across. And O'Brien can't hit it. Can't get it from the save from Andy Boyd.
Yeah, it's just really difficult when the ball's that close to the net. So hard to read where it's going to go off of the net.
Here's freshman Riley Howell serving. Almost no spin on that ball, and that one's going to be out to make it set point Sequoyah.
A quick set point, too.
Howell serving again. Here's Boyd setting for Pagan. Received from Gibson. Now Michaels setting for Gibson. That one is out. It was close, but it was out.
A little too much gas on that one.
Just look at how far she winds up and how long she hangs in the air.
Yeah. Really hard to do that for anybody, and yet for her to only be a sophomore, it's amazing how good she is already.
Misplay from Morales gives Verdigris another chance to keep this set going. Andy Boyd serving. Michaels for Lexi Dunphy. Here's Boyd setting. Cadence O'Brien getting it across. Here's Emin Gibson with a little tap and wins the set.
And that set was pretty much the Emin Gibson show.
An easy set for Sequoyah as we head into the second. Eagles up 1-0.
Eagles fans, if you or someone you know has a business and want to advertise on our Sequoyah Athletics YouTube channel, we are looking for sponsors for the 2025-26 football and basketball seasons. Last year we had over 20,000 views on our channel, and this year with your help, our goal is even higher. To get started, reach out to the contacts listed and go Eagles.
Eagles won the first set by a score of 25-15, and we want to take this time before set two to remind everyone to subscribe to our channel because that really helps us out. And then also follow our social medias. It's at SEQ1 Athletics on Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, and now TikTok.
Finally getting with the trends. Now the kids will actually watch us.
And again, that's at SEQ1 Athletics on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Not sure what the delay is.
Something with substitutions.
Now on the floor for Sequoyah is Hayden Charles, Emin Gibson, Alice Michaels, Bella Brown, Haley Budgick, and Lexi Dunphy. Boyd, Pagan, O'Brien, Newhart, Guerrero, and McMahon on the floor for Verdigris. Whistle's blown, and Michaels is ready to serve. Boyd sets for Pagan, too long. Too much power on that one.
Yeah, and we'll see. Sequoyah got off to a really fast start.
Here's Michaels into the net.
Really fast start in the first set, so we'll see if they can do it again. As of now, just tied up still. And you know what? That's something I haven't seen. Verdigris' head coach, he's got a play sheet, and he's covering his mouth like it's a football game, like an offensive coordinator. I've never seen that in volleyball before. Now, granted, I haven't seen much volleyball, but
Budgick serving. Here's Boyd setting for Sparks. And Emin Gibson is too long.
so Verdigris' points so far this set have come off of
Both off Sequoyah errors. Here's
yes.
Gibson again. That one can't be saved from Addie McMahon. She hit it over, but not inside the little antennas there.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I did not see that, and I was wondering why Sequoyah just kind of let that bounce.
From this angle, it is very hard to see where those antennas are and where that ball crosses. That's a good spike from Jillian Pagan.
Yeah, great job. Good angle on that to get it right over the blockers' heads.
And there she is with the service error.
And that's Verdigris. That's been their Achilles heel all night. They've been, every time they've gotten a serve, seems like they've served it into the net more often than not.
That one is too long from the Eagles to tie this game back up. Bailey Newhart to serve. There's Emin Gibson again.
Just no chance. Just the way the ball comes off of her hands, the angle of it. I mean, you see the top spin on it. There's just no chance if you aren't right under it.
Here she is serving. Even whenever she serves it, it seems like they have a hard time getting it. That one, again, not between the antennas, which from this angle is just so hard to see.
Yeah, I mean, there's just literally no shot from my vantage point.
Hayden Charles getting it back over. Guerrero for Addie McMahon. A good dig from Hayden Charles. Boyd sets for Timms again. And Morales is able to get it back over. What a play from the freshman. Michaels with a quick tip over. Boyd setting again for McMahon. Inbounds.
Just barely.
Right on that line.
And Sequoyah, I think, they would have dove for it, but I think they thought it might have been out.
Very, very close, but that official's right there on top of it. Gibson receives a serve. Here's Parkey. Can't quite get to it.
Much more competitive set so far compared to that first one.
McMahon serving. Misplay from Lydia Parkey gives the Cardinals the lead.
And this set has been a lot of, like, the scores have been the other team's errors more than really the other team's getting kills.
There's another one. Julia Timms can't get it over. Tying it back up, but you're right. I feel like there's only been 2 or 3 actual kills.
Yeah. Emmons not having to be near as involved.
Riley Howell served. Here's Boyd for Timms. And Morales can't dig it out.
And when that happens, that's why you see the score as tight as it is. Both teams just swapping errors back and forth.
Nia Guerrero serving. Morales to Dunphy with the kill. Just as we say, there hasn't really been any kills.
Yeah, there's 3 in a row now. Good old announcer jinx.
Alice Michaels. Oh, what a block from Bella Brown.
Wow. A powerful block. Look at this. A really good spike, but yeah, she timed that jump perfectly.
Anytime any team has been able to get a point, they can't build momentum off it in this set.
That's kind of what happened during the Summit game as well.
Very back and forth until about 3/4 of the way through the set, and then some team, Summit, all 3 sets that it went, was able to kind of take over in the last few points. But
yeah, especially after that delay, Summit kind of took that game by the horns.
Michael setting for Gibson. And that one's out of bounds from Addie McMahon.
What a job by McMahon to even get to that ball, though. It looked like Cadence O'Brien had a chance to hit it, but it was taken.
Haley Budgick serving. Here's Boyd setting for O'Brien. Saved. And now Haley Budgick getting it back across. What a save from Sequoyah. Here's O'Brien again. Blocked by Emin Gibson.
Wow. That's another great defense. We've seen a lot of those tonight. Some great defensive sequences from the Eagles. This time they're able to take advantage of it.
That was actually Paisley Sparks who got blocked from Gibson there. And another ace from Sequoyah.
Yeah, those serves that just barely clip the top part of the net, those ricochets are hard to read.
Boyd setting for Pagan. That one's saved from Budgick. Tipped over, and now here's O'Brien, just barely in the lines.
And we saw a lot of that against Summit whenever they would gather so close to the net. A lot of the times we did see Sequoyah able to get the ball to Gibson for a spike. We'll see if they continue to try to do that here during those sequences.
I think that was Bella Brown on that kill, but referee kind of in my way. But yes, that was Bella Brown on that point there. Guerrero getting it across. Michaels. Parkey can't get it over. And like you've said, this set way more back and forth than set one.
Yeah, Sequoyah seemed like they were building a little bit of momentum here, but can't clear the 2-point advantage mark.
Michaels a good save, and Gibson getting it across. Here's Boyd setting for Sparks. That one's blocked from Parkey. And another miscommunication between Pagan and O'Brien forces Verdigris to call another timeout.
We've seen that so much tonight from Verdigris' side specifically. There have been so many miscommunications. It happened more in the first set, but the second set, they're starting to creep in there a little bit more.
Yeah, they've cleaned that up really well here in this second set. There was at least 4 miscommunications that gave Sequoyah, pretty easy points.
Yeah.
Of balls just hitting the ground.
That's how Sequoyah was able to build that big lead in the first set. But, yeah, like you said, the second set's been a lot more even. Of course, that goes back to the errors that both teams have kind of been going back and forth on.
I really like this timeout here from Verdigris coach Caleb Horton to really emphasize the communication aspect, because that's really their first miscommunication they've had this set.
Yeah, and not letting Sequoyah build up any more momentum. Like I said, this set, they haven't been able to get more than a 2-point advantage, and you don't want them to get more than a 2-point advantage, or this set would threaten to get away from them. So we'll see if they were able to regroup on that timeout and maybe eliminate those miscommunications.
Here's Morales serving. Sparks received from Hayden Charles. And it's Charles hitting it over. That one's close to the net. Tips back over from Emin Gibson. Boyd setting for McMahon, who does get the point.
And another difference between Verdigris and Sequoyah so far this game is when there maybe has been more than one person, that could be a miscommunication on Sequoyah's part, you still have one person being assertive and hitting the ball, at least attempting to hit the ball, whereas Verdigris has backed off on quite a few.
Morales receives the serve. And just as you say, Hayden Charles lets it fall.
Man.
Talk about an announcer jinx.
I know, right? She was waiting for Parkey to go over there, and Parkey wasn't in the area.
She did say, my bad. And a misplay from Morales on the serve from Newhart.
Verdigris with their first lead of the game since, I think, the very beginning of the first set.
Another serve from Newhart, another misplay by Morales.
Yeah, and that's been the majority of Verdigris' points that haven't been errors, or at least like serving errors. They've been just misplays, mishits.
And that one is out from Newhart to tie this game back up. Excuse me. Sequoyah is still down 1.
But now, Emin Gibson to serve. See if she can rattle off some points.
Michaels setting it up. But Haley Budget can't keep it in bounds. Now it seems like the Cardinals are playing with more poise.
Yeah, Verdigris, good job this set to rally from a rough first one.
Michaels sets for Gibson. A little love tap gets it over. Here's Timms into the net. Point Sequoyah.
Just underestimated the power she needed to tip it over. And that would have been a fourth touch anyway.
Howell again to serve. Receive from McMahon. Tipped over from Timms. And now set for Gibson. That's another block from Lexi Dunphy. Here's O'Brien. Haley Budgick saved by Addie McMahon. Timms gets it back over and gets another point on the rebound.
And that was just a great effort by Verdigris, not letting any of those spikes get to him and recovering, and they got Sequoyah all bunched up toward the net that time.
Mia Guerrero serving for Verdigris. Can't get it over. Another serving error.
Now Sequoiah's got to show that they can fight through a little bit of adversity for this set and see if they can string some points together and get this lead back.
Addie McMahon, too long. Tied back up.
That was very, very close to being in.
And now a misplay from Addie McMahon. It does give Sequoyah the lead again. Alice Michaels serving again. McMahon. Ooh, what a spike from Jillian Pagan.
Yeah, and it looked like Michaels was on the ground, just didn't even have a chance to really go after it.
Andy Boyd serving. Hayden Charles hits it off the backboard and no one's there to recover.
That's so difficult to read with those backboards hanging up there. We saw it in the JV game too. If it hits off that, it's pretty much, unless you're right underneath it, game over.
That one's out of bounds on the serve and it'll tie it back up.
That was another really close call right in that back corner.
Budgick serving. Alice Michaels, a good job getting it back over, and a dump off from Andy Boyd.
Yeah, just a perfect soft touch over there, right in the hole in the defense. Verdigris has really, really done a good job this set.
And another serving error. We're slowly inching our way toward the end of this set, but right now it seems like no one actually wants to win it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long this one stays deadlocked, but if we keep going the way it is, it'll be a while before someone wins this set.
There's McMahon. And that's a double touch.
Yeah, ricocheted off the net right back into McMahon's hands there. And
see, I thought Sequoyah blocked that one maybe partially. Charles into the net will tie it back up. So now serving for Verdigris is junior Jillian Pagan. And a misplay. And maybe can get it back over. The Eagles cannot.
So advantage right now goes to Verdigris. See if they can actually do something with it. It's been a while since anyone separated by more than a point.
Michael setting for Gibson, finds some open space. O'Brien to Sparks getting it across. Budgick setting for Gibson. Now it's Sparks who's blocked from Gibson and Parkey. Bella Brown able to get back to it. Here's Addie McMahon with the misplay. And man, you are right. No one wants to win this set.
Yeah, that was curious. Was she trying to set it again? Because she got no power on that hit.
Honestly, I have no idea. It seems like when it's a pretty good volley going back and forth, it feels like both teams are maybe collapsing a little bit. A good save from Verdigris as McMahon gets it back over. Parkey, too long.
And she was trying to get it to set point there.
Well, she did. Now it's set point Verdigris.
Yeah, unfortunately. Just a little too hyped up on that spike.
When was the last time any team has actually got 2 points in a row?
Been a while.
As another service error from the Cardinals will tie this one back up, and we're going to go past 25 on this one.
But hey, this is the girl you want up.
Emin Gibson serving. Here's Boyd setting for McMahon. Morales receives it. Michaels setting for Haley Budgick. Here's Boyd again setting for Timms. And Budgick can't get it from Gibson, which will make it set point Verdigris again.
Yeah, just a
little too much on that pass there.
Yeah, too far, too close to the net.
McMahon, Hayden Charles. There's Gibson, and it hits the goal from the top of the ceiling there, and the set will go to Verdigris.
That's an unfortunate way to end it.
We'll be back for the third set, all tied at 1. Tied at 1 as we enter the third set. And Dakota, that second set, no one really wanted to pull away.
Hard fought, but error prone is how I describe that set.
And the referee's going over the starting lineup for the set.
You know what? We made it through 2, no 30-minute delays.
Well, now you're going to jinx us.
No, I already spent my announcer jinxes. It's all used up. I wonder if that's why they're spending so much time at the beginning of the set going over rotations and stuff to avoid another situation like what happened on Thursday.
Okay, all set to serve, and it is Andy Boyd getting this third set started. Michael setting for Haley Budgick. Misplayed from Mia Guerrero.
Yeah, what she wanted to do there was hit it forward, and as soon as she did it, she knew. Shook her head and got out of the way, hoping somebody would come dig it out.
Alice Michaels. I believe that is still considered an ace.
It was a good attempt to dig it out, but really hard to control your power whenever you're going to the ground.
Michaels again. Sparks dug out by Hayden Charles. Michaels sets for Haley Budgick. There's Guerrero and now O'Brien getting it over for the Cardinals. Michaels setting for Emin Gibson. Another misplay from Guerrero, but it's saved by Verdigris. I believe that was O'Brien getting the point there. Here is O'Brien serving. Lexi Dunphy's putback is blocked. Hayden Charles hits it up. Here's Haley Budgick. A little bit long, too long.
Here we go again. 2-2. Errors on both points for both teams. Well, actually, the Verdigris does have a good kill.
Michael sets for Gibson with the kill.
And there's one for Sequoyah. Once again, Gibson just putting it in the exact right spot she needs to.
Budgick serving. Misplayed from Pagan. Saved by Guerrero, and now O'Brien's able to get it over, but not in bounds. 4-2 Eagles.
Sequoiah's getting Verdigris off balance again, which is what they were doing the entire first set. Never really had an opportunity with all the errors in the second set.
Budgick again. No one's really there to get it for the Cardinals, and McMahon sends it out of bounds.
Again, like I said, they're off balance.
She had to come running up from behind the 10-foot line to get that one.
Yeah, and it was...
to even make contact.
Right, and it was so close to the net already anyway.
Here's Boyd with a little dump off. Gibson's able to draw some contact for another Sequoyah point. Look how hard she hits this ball.
Yeah. Yeah, there was... I don't think any way that would have been blocked. I don't think there was any way that Verdigris would have been able to get there.
Guerrero receives Budgick's set. McMahon getting it across for Verdigris. Here's Bella Brown drawing contact. Guerrero saves it. McMahon, I thought that was 4 touches. So did head coach Zoe Kersey and everyone in the stands. A whistle blew, and now the referees do say 4. It didn't really matter because Bella Brown did get that point.
Yeah. So
but yes, it was a 4 touch from Verdigris.
yeah, and the crowd all.
Everyone put up the 4.
They put up the 4.
Looked like the fourth quarter.
I know, fourth quarter of the football game. Yep.
And now Paisley Sparks coming to talk with the official. So does Emmon Gibson.
Asking what the fourth touch was.
There was 4 touches.
I think the debate was
because a block.
that a block?
Yeah, because a block does not count as your first touch. But I don't remember there being a block because live, I definitely thought there were definitely 4 people who touched the ball.
Right. I also thought that it was because I think a block has to be within a specific amount of time that the attack was made.
Either way, Bella Brown got the point on
yeah,
that last
it doesn't
kill.
matter.
Either
I don't
way,
know what
it's
we're
Sequoyah point.
I think we're arguing for like stats sake.
Which that far side official did rule a 4th touch.
Right.
Either way, we play on. Here's Haley Budgick serving again.
We play on, and Sequoyah is dominating like they did in the first set as that sails out of bounds.
All right, that's now at least 2 on you, Dakota.
Maybe I did not run out of my announcer jinxes. But maybe I'm spending them so there's none during football.
Or basketball.
Or basketball.
Because I know you had a few from basketball last year. Michaels passing to Gibson. Boyd's able to keep it back in. Timms finds some open court.
Yeah, Gibson had gone to the ground. And there's just a little open space left. Nobody able to save it.
Pagan served, received from Budgick. Michaels setting for Lexi Dunphy. Misplayed from Cadence O'Brien, saved by Addie McMahon. That's a low ball from Dunphy. There's McMahon able to get the kill. Verdigris inching their way back.
Yeah, they set that up beautifully. Hayden Charles just shading a little bit more to the right. Perfectly placed kill.
Dunphy misplays the pass from Michaels, but the pass just a little too close to the net. 7-6.
Yeah, Verdigris going on a little bit of a run here now.
Gibson gets it over, not in bounds. Tied game.
Yeah, since I said that dominating thing, it's been a 5-0 run.
There's Charles. That one's close to the net. Tipped over. Great dig from Emmon Gibson. Here's Boyd to McMahon. That one's in.
Nothing you can do against that. There's no defense.
Just right on that line.
Yeah, for a perfect attack.
It still confuses me a little bit that anything on the line is considered in, where almost every other sport it's considered out.
Right.
Gibson finds some open court. Boyd tips it over. Save from Charles. Here's Gibson again. That one's blocked. Thought that might have been a double touch. Here's Timms. Too long. Tied back up.
Finally, Sequoyah able to stop Verdigris' momentum.
After what was a 6-0 run.
Yeah, let's see if they can run it, get another run going here.
McMahon with a little tip with the point.
So Verdigris, without even a timeout, has kind of flipped the script completely in this set on Sequoyah.
Newhart serving, misplayed from Budgick. Bella Brown is able to save it. Michaels hits it over. Timms a dump pass and a miscommunication from the Eagles. Makes it 10-8.
One of the few that we've seen tonight. But that gives Verdigris now a 2-point lead.
That one's too long from Bailey Newhart on the serve. And I believe during this, let's see, what would it have been? A 7-2 run now for Verdigris. I believe both of the Sequoyah points during that run have been from errors from Verdigris.
Been a while since Sequoyah has been able to get a point on their own.
Boyd setting for Timms, and that one's too long again.
Tried to hit that corner, unable to do so. Now we're back in a dogfight.
Morales serving again. Good spin on that ball. Here's Boyd to McMahon, and now Charles for Gibson. Hits it off the side of her hand and out of bounds.
And that's the second time that she's done that in this set, which has been unusual. I mean, she's been on target pretty much all night with her hits.
McMahon serving. Parkey finding some open court. That should be 4 touches, and it is. Just misplayed off the net.
Yeah, I thought maybe right there Parkey might have gone over the net and touched it, but they do not rule that.
I thought that's what they were going to rule as well. Boyd setting for O'Brien. Michaels to Gibson. McMahon receiving it. Parkey tries to spike it. It's O'Brien blocked by Lydia Parkey. The Cardinals save it. There's Michaels back to Gibson. That one's out.
Good perseverance by Verdigris. Didn't get too flustered, able to save it. And
the Eagles thought that one was in, but that one, even on our replay, pretty clearly out, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Guerrero, a low ball. That one's saved. Gibson gets it back across. Boyd with a dump off. And then Gibson gets the tip from Addie McMahon to tie this set back up.
And I think that one might have been out. Oh, no, that was just another perfectly placed. It would have hit the back corner again. So there was no choice for McMahon but to go after it.
Howell serving and a misplay from Cadence O'Brien. And that one is a really good save from Andy Boyd. Back and forth right here at the net. Michaels to Gibson. Guerrero saves it. Now here's Cadence O'Brien.
Oh.
That one was going to just be in. The Eagles couldn't get there.
Yep.
The longer these volleys go on, it feels like the more chaos ensues on the court.
Yeah.
And the less organized everything seems on both sides, really.
Right. And it's just Sequoyah hasn't been able to take advantage of the chaos as much as they were maybe earlier in the game.
There's another miscommunication, putting Verdigris up 2.
And now that's starting to leak into the Eagles' game a little bit more than we saw earlier.
Morales receives. Here's Lexi Dunphy with a good kill. Finding the open space.
Yeah, Guerrero and McMahon were both there. They were just slow to cover that area off. A well-placed shot.
Alice Michaels to serve. And a misplay from Mia Guerrero.
Yeah, just looked like an off her elbow.
Michaels again. Guerrero's able to get that one in play. Michael sets for Bella Brown. Inbounds.
Wow. We talk about Emmon Gibson's attacks, but look at that. Just perfect hit off of the hand and in that corner. No one's going to get there.
That was Paisley Sparks on that kill.
Man, and since that first set that was all Sequoyah pretty much, it's just been such a back and forth game. And this set, it's not even really errors. It's just been really good volleyball by both teams.
The far side official having a discussion at the scorers table. We're all tied at 15, and I believe we play on. Cadence O'Brien getting some words from her coach. And that's an ace. Whatever he said, it worked.
Yeah, I think he was kind of telling her how they were aligned and where to get the ball. As he saw a hole in the Eagles' defense.
There's Bella Brown, and a tip from Alice Michaels doesn't get over the net.
Yeah, just mishit off the palms of her hands right into the net.
O'Brien again. Inbounds, another ace.
And now timeout as Coach Kersey's got to rally the troops here. Verdigris getting some aces now.
Coming out of that timeout, it is 18-15 Verdigris here in the third set, tied at a set apiece. Verdigris still to serve, and it is still Cadence O'Brien.
After a fast start for the Lady Eagles, been a bit of a struggle now.
And that's another ace. The Eagles can't figure out what's in and what's not.
And they're exploiting a hole, it seems like, in the Eagles' defense. They're just putting it right in the absolute perfect spot every time.
Now that one's too long. The Eagles had 4 defenders behind the back line, or behind the 10-foot line, setting up for more of a defensive look, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, compensating for the aces.
Here's Haley Budgick serving. A misplay from Guerrero, saved from Timms, and too long from Paisley Sparks.
That was really good. A really good play by Timms, though. I thought for sure that was going to be a point Sequoyah, but great reflexes to get it off the net, Karam. Unable to keep it in bounds, though, on the attack.
Budgick serving again. Here's Emmon Gibson. McMahon getting it over. Dug out from Hayden Charles. Alice Michaels sets for Gibson. That's O'Brien hitting it out of bounds, and Sequoyah's back within 1.
And we kind of saw last game against Summit they kind of started cheating toward Gibson's side. Wherever she was, there was always blockers there to keep her from those spikes. So I wonder throughout the game if we'll see the same strategy from Verdigris.
Bella Brown can't get that one over. A good save just to even get that attempt.
Yeah. But just too close to the net for that underhanded attempt.
Now a misplayed serve from Hayden Charles puts Verdigris back up 3.
And Verdigris just turned a switch, it feels like. I mean, they're getting so many aces now.
Michaels serves. Dunphy gets the point. Back to 2. Parkey comes back in for Dunphy. And O'Brien comes in for Pagan. Hayden Charles serving. Sparks gets it over for the Cardinals. Here's Emin Gibson with a quick dump pass. Sparks was partially blocked. Charles got it over for the Eagles. A dump pass now from Boyd. Bella Brown with another kill. What a play from the freshman.
Bella is showing a lot of poise right now. I mean, she's gotten a few of those really well-placed spikes in this game, as Gibson has kind of slowed down since the first set.
Here's McMahon. That one's tipped. Michaels setting long pass for Gibson. That one's tipped at the net. Here's Boyd setting for McMahon. That's a long ball. Gibson, little dump pass. Sparks is blocked from Parkey. And that one hits the ground. Couldn't really tell what happened there.
I think Verdigris was anticipating Sequoyah tipping it over, and the ball just wasn't far enough for Sequoyah to even get to it, but a good job by the Eagles making it look like they were going to tip it.
Now we're back to a tied set. Nearing the end of set 3. Here's Boyd setting for Sparks. Blocked from Emin Gibson. Out of bounds. No, point Sequoyah. They said it was tipped. And now the far side official will come. Never mind. Point Verdigris.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was tipped, and nobody on Verdigris touched it before it went out.
Let's take another look at that again real quick before this next serve.
Yeah, you see Gibson go up for it, and I thought it was pretty clear she was the only one to touch it.
Gibson's blocked. Guerrero saves it for the Verdigris. Michaels a dump pass to the empty space. Save from Timms. Now Michaels setting for Gibson's out of bounds.
And there she was everybody was crowded around the net, so she tried to dump it all the way to the back line, but again, unable to do it.
And now another timeout from Sequoyah.
Yeah, 1 point away from Verdigris getting that set point. You want to kind of regroup a little bit.
Well, it just seems like after that last timeout, they played with a little bit more poise, but here these last couple points, just not putting it together.
Well, this is what Sequoyah kind of struggled to do against Summit was late in the set. If they had a lead, they really had a hard time closing it out. And all in all, the game got away from them. They lost 3-0.
They did the same thing at a game I was at the Sequoyah Classic against Dewey, who is a really good team. They're ranked really highly in 3A. And that was only a 2-set match. And after losing the first set, they had about a 6-point lead in the second set. and then Dewey was able to come back and win it.
Yeah, so it seems to be a little bit of a recurring theme, and this is a young team.
Only one senior.
Yeah, so with time, more reps and everything, getting in these situations more and more, they'll get better at it. But right now, they don't want to go down 2-1. They better get better at it right now.
Boyd setting for McMahon. Inbounds, set point Cardinals.
Man, just another perfectly placed kill. Verdigris, ever since about halfway through this third set.
There's a point for Sequoyah, staying alive here in set number 3.
I was going to say, they haven't done that much. It's been really well played volleyball.
Morales serving. McMahon able to save it for Verdigris. Now Michael sets for Gibson. That one's tipped. And points Sequoyah.
So Sequoyah trying to get a little bit of momentum back on their side. Let's see if they can tie it up.
Morales serving again. That one's just over the net, just barely, and a misplay from Mia Guerrero will extend set number 3. And now a timeout, Verdigris.
And this is what we did not see against Summit, was once Sequoyah got down late in the set, they were not able to come back. But here we are now, finally kind of able to get their rhythm together. Now we got a tie game.
Either way this set goes, a really good job of just fighting through some adversity.
Mm-hmm. For sure, especially after getting off to that fast start and then letting it go by the wayside. Shows some good resiliency in this Lady Eagle team.
And now back-to-back sets that are going to go longer than 25. Morales serving. Boyd setting for McMahon. Charles saves it. And then Gibson out of bounds.
And Gibson not near as efficient as she was with her touches in that first set. Ever since then, she's been a little quiet.
And a service error will extend it even more. It almost seems like she's, I don't know how to really word this, I guess, but there's more. Verdigris seems to have rotated a little bit more defense to her side.
Exactly.
So she's having to put a little bit more zip on it.
Yes, and that's why Bella Brown's been more involved, but they haven't been able to get it to her side as often.
Parkey gets it back over for the Eagles. Here's Boyd setting. Another tip rolls off to the Eagles side. Gibson to Budgick. Boyd setting for O'Brien. Inbounds. Verdigris doing what Sequoyah can't.
Yeah, I mean, Verdigris, I don't know what it is, but they have just been able to get those perfectly placed balls so often since the midway through the second set.
Morales receives the serve. Boyd setting for O'Brien into the net. Point Sequoyah. We play on.
What a hard-fought set. Seeing some great volleyball out here.
Riley Howell serving. The freshman serving in a big moment. Boyd setting for Pagan. Budgick inbounds. Set point Sequoyah.
For the first time, Sequoyah's not on the back foot. Let's see if they could ride that momentum now.
Howell serving again. McMahon. Boyd setting for Pagan. With a good kill. Tied back up.
Just, again, in between two defenders. Deadened right at the right spot.
Boyd serving. Budgick again. Got the tip from Guerrero. Set point Sequoyah again. This is not the first time we've seen Sequoyah have to go to at least 29. They did win a set at Berryhill by a score of 30-28. And an ace from Alice Michaels gives Sequoyah a 2-1 lead.
And we talked about Verdigris doing such a good job putting it in the perfect spot. That was another miscommunication. It had been so long since the Cardinals had one of those, and it came in at the absolute wrong time.
We're going to step aside to catch our breath. Sequoyah leads 2-1. And Alice Michaels' ace finally gave Sequoyah a 2-point lead and now a 2-1 set lead over the Verdigris Cardinals. Once again, my name is Britton Ross. Alongside me, my partner, as always, Dakota Jackson. Dakota, what did you see out of that third set? A long set.
That was really good volleyball. You said, in the second set, it didn't seem like anybody wanted to take it. Well, in the third set, it seemed like both teams wanted it the same. And so we saw, instead of errors, we were seeing just perfectly placed kills and all and everything. And so let's see if we can continue that roll.
Whistle blows, and we're set to serve. Alice Michael gets it going. Here's Guerrero getting it over. Michael's setting for Bella Brown. Too long on that one.
Yeah, really juiced up probably coming out of that third set.
Andy Boyd to serve for the Cardinals. Lexi Dunphy's attack goes out of bounds. Boyd to serve again. Received by Hayden Charles, but hits it into the net. 3-0, Verdigris quickly.
Yeah, all of them unforced errors, I'd say, on Sequoiah's part.
Boyd again. Eamon Gibson gets it across. Guerrero passes to O'Brien. Michael sets for Budgick. Boyd to O'Brien again. Save from Eamon Gibson. Now a dump off from Alice Michaels. Boyd a dump off. Received from Charles. Eamon Gibson tries to go for the spike. 4-0, Verdigris.
Yeah, 2 out of the first 3 sets. Sequoyah was the one that came on or got on a fast start. This is about as slow a start to the set as you can have.
Boyd again. Michaels setting for Budgick. Michaels for Haley Budgick, blocked. There's Sparks getting the kill.
You got to wonder, that was such a long set. Maybe a little bit of fatigue.
You would hope not. We're only in set 4. There's a service error from Andy Boyd, which puts the Eagles on the board this set.
So now Sequoyah really needs to take advantage of that, get some more points back.
Haley Budgick serving. Boyd sets for Sparks. That one's tipped. Budgick saves it. Michaels cross-court pass. Gibson was blocked by Pagan. Here's Boyd setting for Sparks again. And the Eagles can't block it.
And I do think that you're starting to see Verdigris is rotating a lot of blockers over to Gibson's side. As so far, all of her attacks have been blocked or into the net.
Another service error. This one by Cadence O'Brien. The only 2 Eagle points coming off service errors.
And you cannot live on that for sure. Eagles have got to get a good offensive possession going.
McMahon going for the spike. That might have been long. There's Bella Brown. Now Boyd setting for Sparks with an easy tip pass. Michaels to Eamon Gibson. Gibson just goes for a tip. McMahon dug out by Hayden Charles and swung over across from Bella Brown. And now a kill by Jillian Pagan.
Man, Eagles have really come out flat. I don't know what happened. Maybe a little bit of a hangover from winning that thrilling third set, but they need to get something going.
Michaels, Gibson's was tipped. Michaels just hits it over. Here's Boyd setting for McMahon. Going for a hard spike, and she was blocked. Now Parkey goes for a spike. O'Brien setting. Timms just gets it back over for the Cardinals. Emmon Gibson again. Boyd for Pagan. Dug out by Hayden Charles. Digs it into the net. A 6-point Verdigris lead.
Like I said, they're rotating defenses to Gibson, and so Gibson's not spiking it at this point. She's either doing that little tip pass or she's having to adjust her hits over the net to more of an easy look, and that just gives Verdigris a little bit of an advantage.
Bella Brown hits it over, and it can't be saved by the Cardinals. And that would be Sequoiah's first offensive point of this set.
But the Cardinals did come back in that second set from down 7-2. Or excuse me, the third set. But Eagles can't keep doing that. This has been such an evenly matched game, though, as this was the kind of first set that Verdigris was having.
Point Sequoyah off of a Verdigris error.
Just hit it. Tried to softly tap it over, and it hit the net and caused a fourth touch.
Gibson serving now. And McMahon hits it into her bench. 4-point game.
And that looked like that was for sure going out of bounds. But McMahon had to recover quick. It was right at her.
Gibson again, and the same thing.
Oh, my goodness.
This one from Bailey Newhart.
Hey, if your spikes aren't going over, start getting aces. Make them adjust to you that way.
Gibson serving again. There's O'Brien. Now here's Timms, who hits it into the net. 2-point game. And a timeout taken by Verdigris, trying to stop some of this Eagle momentum.
Yeah, and you saw there, Gibson on her third serve completely changed where she was putting it, and I think that caught Verdigris off balance. But, yeah, we saw her pretty much single-handedly in that first set take control of that. Now she's starting to do the same thing, bringing the Eagles back in this set with her serves.
And then Gibson will continue to serve for Sequoyah. Hit back over from Budgick. Here's McMahon. Receive from Gibson. And another kill from Emin Gibson. Makes it a 1-point game.
Holy cow. Verdigris doesn't know what to do right now. They are completely off guard.
She's serving again. Here's Boyd to McMahon. Receive from Hayden Charles. Here's Michaels setting for Budgick. That one's long, but inbounds. Tie game.
A beautiful hit from Budgick. Look at this, just a looper. Right into that corner.
Gibson serving again. Misplayed from Cadence O'Brien. Gives the Eagles the lead here in the fourth.
What a comeback. Gibson has just completely flipped this set.
She's serving again. Boyd to Timms with a good kill.
Finally, Verdigris stopping the bleeding. They said, get Inman off of the serve.
McMahon received from Morales. Gibson still trying to get points any way she can. Here's O'Brien. Michaels setting for Haley Budgick. Boyd. That one's blocked from Lydia Parkey.
Great timing on that block from Parkey. Look at that.
Riley Howell will serve for Sequoyah. That one was going to go out of bounds, but it was brought back in from Timms. Michaels setting for Emin Gibson, got it over the net, and misplayed from Julia Timms. Gives Sequoyah a 2-point advantage.
Good set, good job by Gibson, just barely getting it over the net. And said it before, those caroms off the top of the net are so hard to read.
Here's Boyd setting for O'Brien. That one was tipped by Dunphy, but couldn't get the block. Now a substitution, Parkey coming back in. Excuse me, no. It looked like she was coming back in, but I think she just sat down. Michaels setting for Emin Gibson, little floater. Here's Boyd. Pagan. Tying it back up, and Verdigris really hitting the ball hard. It feels like every single set has just been a spike attempt, whereas Sequoyah has been more floating it here in this set.
Well, that's what happens whenever your best killer gets ganged up on by all Verdigris' blockers. But that was an unforced error there.
I believe you mean attacker.
Attacker.
Not killer.
Yeah.
There's Guerrero. Can't be saved from Hayden Charles. And Verdigris back up too.
Unfortunately, Sequoyah can't have Gibson serve every single time. So they need to get some momentum and then keep it when she's not there.
Michael setting for Budgick. There's O'Brien again. And misplayed by Morales makes it a 3-point game. Guerrero serving for the Cardinals. Received by Morales. Michael sets for Gibson. Guerrero received it. There's Pagan. Morales saves it and can't be reached from Alice Michaels. 4-point game again. Guerrero, a long serve. Makes it 16-13.
Sequoyah again needs to stop a little bit of this bleeding.
Michaels, that was misplayed from Addie McMahon. 2-point game.
That'll definitely help.
Michaels will serve again.
I think Michaels has been the second best server other than Gibson so far this game.
She's only a freshman. Good job from Lexi Dunphy getting it back over. Here's O'Brien. Receive from Gibson. Michaels sets for Haley Budgick. Tries to find the empty space. Guerrero goes diving. Here's O'Brien. That one's tipped. Gibson again. Michaels sets for Emin Gibson. Out of bounds.
Yeah, Gibson unable to get it down, but man, Sequoyah just can't in this set get more than 2 or 3 points at a time, while as Verdigris has been able to go on these runs. Unless Gibson is the one serving, but there's another point for the Eagles.
Guerrero sends that one into the net. Budgick serving. Received by O'Brien. There's Boyd setting for McMahon. And can't be dug out. Back to a 3-point game. O'Brien served. Misplayed by Budgick.
A lot of unforced errors by the Eagles this set. That's really led them to be in the hole that they are in.
Cadence O'Brien serving out of bounds. Parkey comes back in for Dunphy.
Trying to get it in that corner where Budgick is. It's a little bit too far outside.
Charles hits it into the net. Point goes back to the Cardinals. Now it's Jillian Pagan. Michaels to Gibson. Boyd. Parkey going for a spike. She was blocked. And the Eagles got it over, but just out of bounds.
Man, a good job to stay composed after that block as Parkey was trying to send it over. She was able to get it over again, but just a little bit too far outside.
Gibson receives it. Michaels to Gibson. A little tip over. Here's McMahon with a kill. And as the Cardinals push it back to 7 points, a timeout taken by Coach Kersey. I guess 6 points, I should say.
Yeah, this set just hasn't gone Sequoiah's way. Other than that big run that they went on with Emmon Gibson as the server, but you just can't. I mean, obviously she's going to go out of rotation. You can't counter on her every single time. The offense has to be a little bit more well-rounded than that. Credit to Verdigris, though. I think overall this game, they've been a more solidly consistent team ever since they took care of those miscommunications, while the Eagles have relied a lot more on big runs.
And it does seem like Verdigris has just been more poised overall. There's Pagan serving. Gibson setting for Parkey. McMahon again, can't get the dump off.
Yeah, McMahon again. That's the third or fourth time that we've seen her try to do a little bit of just that one-handed push over the net, and she hasn't been able to get enough on it to go over.
Morales serving. Guerrero. Now Sparks. Spiked that one out of bounds.
One of the few times this set that Verdigris has misplaced a spike.
Morales again. And a quick little tip from Lydia Parkey. I thought Boyd was going to try to get that one, but
wow. Good timing on that. So now Sequoyah is clawing their way a little bit back in it.
Sparks set. No one was home. Here's Emmon Gibson. Blocked, but out of bounds. Back to a 2-point game.
And this is what I'm talking about. Sequoyah relying on those runs, but finally they get one with Gibson not being the server.
And now that quick 3-0 run from Sequoyah, actually 4-0 run from Sequoyah, causes the Cardinals to take a timeout, try to stop some of that momentum.
And that's really the first time that we've seen Sequoyah come out of a timeout and really dominate afterwards. But Verdigris, credit to them, every time they've taken a timeout, they've kind of come back and reset everything. And
very strategic timeout placement from the Cardinals.
Right.
Not saying that Sequoyah hasn't, but Verdigris has been more efficient out of their timeouts than Sequoyah has out of theirs.
Definitely. Really been able to put a little run together out of their timeouts more consistently than Sequoyah has for sure.
Grady's Morales will continue serving for Sequoyah. Still trying to claw their way back and win this set in 4. That one's too long. Just a floater from Morales that couldn't get down.
And if you're Sequoyah, you can't do that. Coming out of a timeout that Verdigris we talked about, Verdigris coming out of timeout strong, but that's an unforced point that you just give Verdigris.
Michael sets for Emmon Gibson, who hits that one out of bounds. Set point Verdigris.
And it just seems like Gibson, I think she's overcompensating for the defense being rotated toward her a little bit more, so she's putting way too much power on her spikes, but Sequoyah's not out of it yet.
That's Newhart, who can't get the serve. And now Emmon Gibson will serve for Sequoyah.
Perfect timing. One of the few times they weren't off balance by one of her serves.
There's Budgick with a tip. Tim's able to get it over. Now Budgick gets it back. Boyd setting for McMahon, going for the spike, inbounds. Let's play 5. Verdigris wins set 4 by a score of 25-21. We'll be right back for the 5th set. Coming into the fifth set, my name is Britton Ross. My partner, as always, Dakota Jackson. We want to remind everybody to follow us on Instagram, X, and now TikTok at Sequoyah Athletics. And the username is at SEQ1 Athletics. Also, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel because that really helps us out. Our next broadcast will be Friday night at the Kansas Comets, first road game. The first game didn't quite go so well. The Sequoyah football team did lose 24-7, and nothing really went their way.
No, it was a really rough game, especially on offense. Not even 100 yards gained. So Kansas hoping for a little bit of a better showing as we go on the road for the first time.
But right here, right now, this set goes to 15. There's Morales. It just goes over the net. Budgick got hit with it from Julian Pagan.
Yeah, that spike, I think, caught Budgick off guard.
Well, it came
straight at her.
Yeah, hit straight. Honestly, at first I thought she got hit in the face. Here's Boyd. Michael setting for Budgick into the net. 2-0 Verdigris.
And this is the kind of start Sequoyah needed to avoid. That's what happened into the fourth set. Put them in too deep of a hole for them to dig out of.
And with this set only going to 15, I would wonder if maybe another point would result in a quick timeout. Here's Pagan. Now Michael sets for Emin Gibson. O'Brien hitting it across. Gibson receives it. Michael setting. Budgick finding the free space, and O'Brien misplays it.
And to be honest, it looked like Budgick misplayed it herself or mishit it as it went off the side of her fist, but it was enough to get over and into a spot where weren't able to dig it out.
Pagan with a spike with his tips by Dunphy right at the line. Cadence O'Brien to serve now. Service error.
And unfortunately, a lot of Sequoiah's points these last two sets have been on service errors more than they have been on offense, other than whenever, like I said earlier, Gibson was the one serving.
Boyd setting up for Pagan. Can't be dug out by Alice Michaels.
And that seemed like it should have been Hayden Charles' ball. But she let Michaels take the initiative. And the ball rolls onto the court during the service, so got to do it again.
Pagan serving. Slight misplay from Budgick. Michaels gets it over. That one's blocked, and it hit the antenna. Out of bounds, point Verdigris.
Man, and it just seems like ever since Sequoyah won that amazing third set, they've been a little bit on the back foot the entire rest of the game so far.
Michaels setting for Emin Gibson. Got a tip. Back to 2. Hayden Charles serving now. Guerrero receives it. Boyd setting for McMahon. That one's tipped.
McMahon and O'Brien, I think, have been the best attackers for Verdigris. They've been the ones putting those almost just laser focus spikes on the Eagles.
And a service error from Newhart will give Sequoyah the serve. And it is Morales who will serve for the Eagles.
And the last time that the Eagles went on a really good offensive run was when she was serving.
Guerrero gets it over. Michaels serving for Parkey, blocked. Parkey again. Gibson spikes it.
And that was the case of the chaos getting to the Cardinals just a little bit too much. You see there, they all kind of moved forward after Parkey's was blocked. Gibson able to put it where they weren't.
Morales again. Boyd setting for McMahon. That one is close to the net. Gibson, now Michaels setting for Gibson again. Little dump pass. Boyd setting for Timms. Blocked. Lydia Parkey again. McMahon spikes it too long. Tie game.
And this is the kind of resilience that you like to see out of the Eagles. A 15-point game, a lot shorter, so those points matter a little bit more. They're able to come back from a hole.
Morales again. O'Brien. A little dump pass from Boyd, and Gibson hits it too long. It is Addie McMahon serving for Verdigris. Now a stoppage in play as the far side official talks with the scorers table.
I wonder what this could be about. Score is correct from what we can tell. Hopefully this isn't another rotation issue.
I have no idea. We will continue. 7-6 Verdigris. Morales. Michaels gets it over for the Eagles. Boyd trying to get Timms to spike it, and Boyd and Timms combined for the block on Emin Gibson. Now 9-6 Verdigris, and a quick timeout taken by Coach Kersey.
Yeah, down 3 again. It's kind of been the story of the last 2 sets. Sequoyah constantly having to battle back from 3 or 4 down. Hopefully this timeout gets their composure up a little bit, as it seems like they've been in a little bit more of a scramble drill on a lot of these, whereas Verdigris, like you said earlier, Britton, they've just shown consistently more poise throughout the entire game. But that's going to happen. Verdigris, pretty much all juniors and seniors. Again, Sequoyah is really, really young.
Mostly sophomores and juniors, with 1 senior. Here is McMahon serving. Michael sets for Gibson. And that is a point Sequoyah. McMahon goes diving to the floor.
That's been the MO every time, well, nearly every time. Whenever they don't have anyone there to block Gibson, she's been able on her attacks to keep Verdigris off balance.
Emin Gibson serving on that one. Here's Timms. It can't be saved by Charles, and Gibson.
And that's big because that was Sequoyah's best chance to really rally back with Gibson serving. And now they've already lost it after 1 serve.
Michaels, Budgick. McMahon to O'Brien, a dump off. Charles misplays it, dug out. No, can't be dug out by Alice Michaels.
And Verdigris playing on. That's what I call playing through the whistle. making sure that the point was for sure scored. They were continuing to play.
11-7. Another misplay from Alice Michaels makes it 12-7.
And it does seem like Sequoyah is starting to crack under the pressure a little bit.
Another timeout taken by Coach Kersey.
This is kind of what we saw against Summit. They lost in 3 sets, but there was a point in each of those sets that you felt like, oh, maybe they have a chance to win, and they just let it get away. Or when they got down big, there was just like, you felt like, oh, they're not going to be able to come back, and we're starting to see that here now.
Coach Kersey sent her team back out to the court with about 41 seconds left on this minute-long timeout. What do you think she said to them?
Do better? I don't know, man.
Do better, stay composed.
Stay composed, yeah. Like, maybe she got the perfect thing drawn up, perfect defense drawn up. But yeah, you're right. They were just in and out of that timeout faster than you can blink.
Maybe it was just a timeout because she can't take them with her. That's a misplay from Hayden Charles, 13-7.
And I think that's something you're starting to see. I think Charles specifically this last set has had some troubles getting a good hit on the ball.
Michaels serving for Gibson. McMahon receives it. Dumped off by Boyd. Here's Gibson again, just over the net. McMahon setting for O'Brien. She hits it into the net. Point Sequoyah.
Not out of it yet, but it is so important for Sequoyah to be able to string some points together. They need it so badly right now. Only one away from Verdigris being at game point.
Riley Howell serving. There's Pagan spiking out of bounds.
There you go. There you go. Now just keep it going. Keep the rally going.
Riley Howell, again, a freshman, serving again in a big moment.
I've been impressed with her tonight serving too.
There's Pagan again. There's Budgick a tip. Pagan a long ball out of bounds. 3-point game.
What a job by Sequoyah. We were talking about their composure earlier, and they were able to get a really good defensive sequence on that to keep the play alive and force Verdigris to hit it out of bounds. And
this is another really good timeout call from Coach Horton of the Cardinals.
Yeah, like, I mean, you could tell Sequoyah was starting to roar back. And before you get it, let them even get within 2 points. It is a great job as early as you can to take that timeout and be like, hey, calm down. We're 2 away from winning this thing. You just got to execute.
2 away from match points. It's still freshman Riley Howell serving for the Eagles,
who are, again, already ready out of the timeout. They are not wasting time.
Yeah, this time they came out with about 25 seconds left on the clock. But this one wasn't Coach Kersey's timeout. Howell serve. Got over the net somehow. Budgick tried to get it back over. That one's right at the net. And that's another point for Sequoyah.
And that serve I thought for sure was going to be out. They kept it in, and
Lexi Dunphy, a great job getting it over.
Yeah.
Howell again, 2-point game now. Another good serve. Here's Boyd setting up for Pagan. Morales, good job getting out. Pagan, another spike.
Holy cow.
Match point Cardinals.
And that one had some emphasis on it. Look at this.
And that's something I said, I think, last set, that they were, Sequoyah was a little bit more finesse floating and on their attacks, where Verdigris was a little bit more power.
Just pure power. I mean, that one was just a blur on your screen.
Okay, match point Verdigris. Here's Boyd serving. Morales. Michaels setting for Lexi Dunphy. Dump off. O'Brien dug out from Hayden Charles. O'Brien. Charles hits the net, and that is game 15-11 here in the fifth set. Verdigris wins in 5. Overall, a great match, Dakota.
It really was, but it just seemed after that third set, I don't know if something a little bit like energy-wise went off. I mean, it went really long, but it just seemed like Sequoyah was no longer the aggressor as Verdigris really came back.
All right, everybody. Well, again, make sure you subscribe to the channel and follow us on Instagram, X, and now TikTok at SEQ1 Athletics. Verdigris wins 3-2. Again, our next broadcast will be this Friday as the Sequoyah Eagles football team takes on the Kansas Comets. If you can't make it out to Kansas, that's about an hour-and-a-half drive here from Sequoyah. If you can't make it, you can watch it right here on Sequoyah Athletics TV, and we will see you then.